Well, good morning and welcome back to Footsteps and Tire Tracks. This is a video within a video, really. Any other video I'm doing, we're talking about removing the seats and replacing the seats. Anyway, today we've just received this Handbrake swivel kit.
We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures.
And the whole idea is that this is going to allow me to take this handbrake, and I think it just lays flat while you turn the seat while the handbrake is still on, so you can actually lay your handbrake flat and swivel your driver's seat. All right, let's have a look inside the box then. Certainly looks a substantial piece of kit, doesn't it? Let's get them out. Comes from a company, I think they pronounce the name Audrio. I'll put all the details down below. And there you are. That's the bit of kit. There you are. So I'd imagine it mounts probably that way, the handbrake on it, and then you just pivot it out the way, the handbrake, turn the seat, and then put it back up. That looks quite good, doesn't it? Right, well, the first thing we're going to have to do then is we're going to have to disassemble the handbrake. But before that, it might be an idea to chop the wheels. You can use bricks or anything you like. I've got these wheel chocks that come with a jack, so I'm going to use these. Since my drive just slightly goes downhill, I'm also going to put it in reverse. Okay, so the first bit we're going to have to do is remove this handbrake cover, and there's a clip there, and I believe you just put a flat screwdriver in. Let's bring him in, just release him slightly. Yes, that's released him. And I believe he will. But gentle persuasion might be we're going to have to let the handbrake off. So this is why we chock the van up. And there you are, you felt the van hit the chocks. I think I'm going to have to re-release that catch. Now, there's no instructions with this at all, so it does mean you've got to just think about what you're doing, but hopefully I'm going to save you a lot of time by figuring it out, and then you can follow what I'm doing. So, not the easiest thing to release. And there he is. He's off. So just looking underneath, there's a little flat there, and I think that's where it catches hold. Just there. Hopefully you can see that. That's the handbrake top part of the cover off. Right, next, and hopefully you can hear me above the rain, because it's certainly coming down now. Look at that. Anyway, not to worry about that. We got to release this plastic piece now, and I believe you just lift it from the front and then release it from the front, and release it from the back, sorry, and then release it from the front. So I'll just put the camera there, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can. I'm just gonna there it is. It just pops out. There's like 4 little plastic clamps, and that's what it clips onto. It clips over the bolts there, and let's see where it clips on. There and there. Okay, the next thing to do is we got to remove the handbrake from the bracket here. So we'll release that bolt, that nut, and that nut, and that will enable us to release the handbrake, and then we'll look at fitting the bracket. It's actually more difficult than it looks because that cable doesn't want to let go. There we are. So that's handbrake out. Watch that cable behind as well, because that's quite tight if you get it the wrong way around. Now that's a mess, so I'm going to clean that up before we do anything more. Okay, so that's the bracket in position. Because there's no instructions, it was a case of like holding it up and offering it. I'd moved it a few times and sort of had it in the wrong position, so might be worth noting my mistake, and so you don't do the same thing. And then that folds down. So we'll undo these bolts above, attach your handbrake. So there we are, that's the bracket all in place. Now, behind, you got these 2 screws that your cover fixes on. When I first put this bracket in, when you were watching me, I'd actually had this in the wrong position. So I've just had to unbolt it and put it back in. So, worth noting, because you don't really pay attention to that when you're looking at the front. So, just make sure you got that right. Now the next thing to do is put all the covers back on. I suppose really before I put the cover back on, I should show you everything. There's the original mounting bolts for the handbrake, and there's the bracket, raises it too. So that's what it looks like from the side. And a bit stiff, but that's what it does. Handbrake's still on, you'll see. You can literally just rotate that. I'm quite happy with that. Now we're going to put all the trim back on. Just line it up as we put it in. And making sure you get it all lined up properly inside. That's it, inside or outside? Outside. There we are. That's it. Now, that was quite easy, wasn't it? It just rotates, and the seat's rotated. Get back up so you can walk through. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Well, I think you'll agree that was really quite an easy mod, and a necessary mod for the seats that we're about to put in, and that's in the other video that we're making at the same time. So if you've enjoyed watching that and it's helped you out, and you think you might want to get the same handbrake pivoting kit, I suppose you call it. I don't know what it says on what they call it. Handbrake pivoting. There's nothing on the outside. In fact, there was no paperwork, nothing, not even a compliment slip with it, which is a bit sad, really. Be nice just to have had a compliment slip in there saying thank you for your customer, something like that. So take note, Audrio, I think it's called, Adriano, I don't know. I'll put all the details below. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. See you in the next one, and probably the next one, or you might have found it from the last one, is the seats. Gen-in seats, 2 captain seats that we're fitting on swivel bases. As you can see there, all out, ready to go in. So we'll rejoin the other video now and carry on. But thanks for watching this video, guys. See you later.